Hey, and thanks for joining me for the fourth video in the Fiverr and Work at Home series. In this video, you'll get an over-the-shoulder style view of what I go through when creating a gig. I'll help you figure out the things that you definitely need to do, and I'll also help you figure out some of the small things that can affect you in big ways later on when it comes to delivering your gigs or setting your customer up for the right expectations. And I'll help you figure out how to avoid some major pitfalls along the way too. In this video, I'll show you how I go about researching what needs to be done or shown in a gig. And it's all about checking out the competition and seeing what works and knowing what to look for. I'll be sharing some pro tips on every aspect of the gig creation process, so be sure to read the pop-up text boxes when they show up. Pause the video if you have to, because those are important. I know that some of you have been waiting a long while for this one, so let's get started. Let's start with creating our first gig. From the Fiverr homepage, I want you to click the Start Selling button right there at the top. And then from there, click on the big green Become a Seller button. From here, just start filling things out. This is all self-explanatory stuff, and it's new for Fiverr to ask all of this stuff from you. I would imagine showing as much as you can and linking as many social media accounts to this account as possible is going to help your profile look a lot more credible. So, do as much as you can to fill out all of this page. I'm going to fill this stuff out and move past this, but I do want to say for your profile picture and the description of your profile at the bottom here, you want to make sure that you're taking a very good picture of yourself for this, or using your highest quality company logo and cropping it properly. My photo is a resolution of 520 by 476, and it seems to frame me perfectly in the shot here. So having a picture similar to that size should work well here. Anything smaller will probably need to be blown up a bit, but anything bigger than 520 by 476 resolution should maintain its quality once Fiverr downsizes it to fit this little profile spot. Whatever the case, make sure that your picture or your logo is framed properly and not pixelated, and that's super important here. Next, your description needs to be 100% grammatically correct with 100% perfect spelling. If English is not your first language, consider hiring someone else to proofread your description and all of your gigs, every text you have. Buyers, especially buyers with real money, will look at your spelling and your grammar first and make their minds up on whether or not they're going to give your gig a chance. Then, of course, they're going to look at your offered skill set, your presentation of it, and finally, the pricing of the whole service in general. Make sure that you keep your description short and display your greatest strengths. Leave pricing out of this and tell people who you are, what you do, or what you went to school for, and what you offer on Fiverr to sell them. You may talk about your hobbies a little bit after all the above is covered, but only if you feel it's important to convey some credibility or sell yourself. If I'm offering a performance video gig, I'll talk about my hobby as a street performer, for example. When you're done, click on the button that says Continue and create your first gig. Here is what my description ended up looking like before I continued on, in case you wanted to see a proper example here. Alright, here we are at the overview section of the gig creation page. There's 6 steps to creating a gig, and the most important 2 steps is probably going to be gig title and search tags right here. So basically what you want for your gig title, I'm going to be doing a video commercial gig where I'm going to be standing on a white background. So I want to keep this super short to the point. And so I'm going to make this, I will make a commercial on a white background. I've got one of my best keywords right here for my gig, commercial. And I've also got white background. These are 2 things people are going to type if they're going to search for my gig. So I want to include those. Now, category, here's something. Okay, not sure how to word this, all right, but Fiverr used to have it set up to where if you chose a category here, then the gig that you picked, let's say if I did video animation and stuck this one in the spokesperson videos, the way it used to work, I can create this gig and go through all the processes, and my gig would be the only one to show up in the spokesperson category if someone were to browse the website and click on this button right here for spokesperson videos. So here's the categories here at the top, and you can either click on this and you can start browsing like that, or over here, and there's different ways to get to the same stuff. But the way they used to have it is if somebody went to spokesperson videos, it would only allow one of my gigs to show up here. So I better have, my best gig in this category and nothing else. Like if I have a gig that's just not as good, I would put it in a different category because I would want this one gig here, the white background gig, to show up in the spokesperson category. But now they're doing something different. Okay, so if anybody was, on Fiverr back in the past, they seem to have changed this up, and you should know about it. And I think it's because they've limited where you can put your gigs now because of this gig metadata stuff. So my advice here is choose the best category for your gig. So in this case, video and animation is the main category, and spokesperson gig is the best subcategory. Whiteboard and explainer videos you would think might go well with a gig like I'm setting up if you do video work, but this is more aimed towards animation and cartoon style videos. So if I picked that, I would get some weird metadata here asking me what kind of animations I offer. So I'm going to pick the best one because when we get down here to metadata, we're going to have the best options. And this is going to allow clients searching for your gig to actually find your gig a little bit better. Fiverr has really revamped their metadata section. And when people are searching for stuff now, let me show you here on the side. You got all this stuff. You can search by online status, delivery time, what file formats they offer, level 1, level 2 status, service includes 1080p, logo transparency. So remember some of this stuff because these little things here are going to be what I'm going to pick here. See, file format. So just go down the list of your gig metadata, and it's self-explanatory. Select the video participants. Male, I could put couple, but that won't work. Age range, adult. Language, English. Accent is American, and nothing else really fits, so I won't do anything else. So I guess I could do Southern, and it lets me do 2, but I don't want to limit myself here, so I'm not sure if I want to do that. So let's do that. File format. I can do all of these, so I will pick all these. And I do want to pick all of these because you never know what people are looking for. So if you can deliver all these, go ahead and pick all those. Background and environment. Now I got a green screen, so of course I'll pick that. I'm offering a white background in this gig specifically, so I'll pick that. And then I'm going to go with the next best one, the most popular one, which is probably people looking for testimonials. I wouldn't mind my gig showing up in there. So let's do that. And here it is, search tags. Very important stuff right here. What do you think people are typing to find you? Okay. That's what you want to put here in the search tags. This is SEO, search engine optimization is what that stands for. So let's take a look. Let's go, here's just a new tab on Fiverr. I'll go to the home page. My service is a video service, right? So let's start typing in video and look what happens. It's going to auto type this for me. It's going to fill in stuff like explainer video. I don't know why virtual assistant's in there, but video intro, video editing, video. It's just simply video. And then video testimonial. So I've done some prior research here. And I already kind of know which ones I want to pick. I'm gonna plug in them now. I'll plug them in now. So video, commercial, white background, video testimonial, and there was one more that I can pick in real time here. But this is why I picked those. Okay, first of all, I wanted to see what was being auto-filled here, and I wanted to make sure I got some of those. So video testimonial and video were great for that. Let's see if I can type commercial. Yeah, see video commercial or commercial. So I have here commercial and video. I could probably do video commercial here and be done with it, because people will type that, and it will bring up my gig a little bit ahead of people that just have this maybe separated. Maybe it's kind of, you know, touchy there, but I could do that one. Or let's do some more research. So go find what I suggest here to find your keywords. If you don't know even the first few, look at the your leading competitor here. So let's go to video and animation. Let's go to spokesperson, and let's find somebody. Now I know who's doing really good. Okay, this guy's doing really good. So I'll check out him, check out her, and I'll check out him. Let's see what their keywords are. Okay, for their gig, for his gig, I will create a professional spokesperson video. Let's look at the bottom here. You see under everything, under his reviews, these are his tags. So this is what he put right here. All right, spokesperson, presenter, video, spokesmodel, and commercial. So he's got some really general ones: commercial, video, spokesperson, and he's got some ones that are a little bit more specific. This one's kind of pretty specific right here. Spokesmodel. I've never even seen that one, but okay. What about hers? Let's go down and see her. Look, she's got 20 orders in the queue. Okay, these people are doing something. They're doing serious work here on Fiverr. So I want to mimic them if they're doing it right. Spokesperson, video marketing, website marketing, promotion, and business website. That's strange. Business website for her professional video spokesperson in HD gig, which, by the way, is kind of a long title. Take a look at that again. I will be your professional video spokesperson in HD. So I can tell you she's trying to go for people typing in video, spokesperson, and probably HD video, and hoping that will link up. And then maybe people will type professional video because they think they're weeding out people, but everybody on here tries to type professional video. I used to. But anyway, these are the tags here that she's using. Video marketing, it's probably a good one. I've seen that a few times. She's got, of course, spokesperson. Okay, let's take a look at the last one. This guy's killing it. 24 orders in the queue. What's he got? Video spokesperson, commercial, intro video. Where did we see that a second ago? We were typing in video. Video intro. So he's trying to catch people from this right here. You see that? That's what he's doing. And that's good. It's a good tactic. Explainer video. Oh. Look at that. So he's trying to really, he's doing his SEO targeting for his main gig via the suggested search results. And I bet he's got video in there too. No, he doesn't need it, but he does have explainer video and video testimonial and intro video. So and video spokesperson. So he's got video in there a lot too, doesn't he? Huh. Yeah, video. So, it wouldn't hurt for me to just copy this because it's good, and my gig is going to be exactly this anyway, except for this right here and video testimonial. A lot of other people are choosing video testimonial. So that's why he added that in there. If I went and looked at several other popular people, you will see that a lot of these people have video testimonial. So, and look at her. She's a video testimonial gig. And I think we're in the main category of spokesperson. So, people are trying to get their face anywhere, and they're using these SEO tags to do that. So consider them wisely. The last one I'm going to do, I'm going to do explainer video because I do like that keyword. People have found me in the past because of my explainer videos and my product reviews. So that's it for the overview. Make sure your category is the best category can be in so you get the right metadata. Do your keyword tag research. And when we get on into the pricing, you'll see why this category thing is important. So let's move on. Save and continue. All right, here we are at the pricing section. This is part 2 of the 6-part process here. And it wants to default to a one package setup, which we're going to change at least for while we're following along. Go ahead and change it. Click the button right there. And what's going to show you is you got basic, standard, and premium. This is always going to show up, okay? And this is where it shows up. I've picked a random gig. This guy's doing 5 clean video intros for $5, and he's got basic, standard, and premium showing up here. You see that? You can click on them. And take note of this, 3 intro pack under his basic gig. 3 intro pack is written right here on his gig. So whatever you put in these boxes, they're going to show up in the respective categories. So standard, there it is, 5 intro pack is what he put for his standard $10 pack. And the premium, he's got 5 intro pack plus transparent something. All right, and take a look at this next box here. This little short description is this box. Okay, and it tells you on the right-hand side under these little tooltips. For this here, it says give your package a catchy title, which describes what it includes and some examples. And this box here, it's telling you have a 100-character limit. And to summarize this, and basically tell your buyers what you're offering and why you've included these items in that package. So this is really all you. You'll see what I've done in a minute. And you can attach delivery times separately to each of your gig packages along with revisions. I'll go over that too in a minute. Words included, all that. You got a bunch of check boxes. Now where you put these, let's say I was going to offer full HD 1080p quality on all my videos. And I think he's done the same thing. If you go to basic and you see these check boxes, he's also got full HD 1080p checked, and he's also got a couple of other things checked for his basic package, and that's just this. Whatever you check here is going to show up in here. Okay, and I made it a point earlier to mention that you really need to get your gig in the correct category. And when I first did this the first time around, I put my gig in the content creation category or something, and it really gave me a whole bunch of wacky checkboxes and titles. So I didn't want any of that. So I had to go back and change it, put it in a more proper category. And now I have things like background music and overlay text and logo, which is everything I would want to add. So make sure your gig's in the right category so you get this stuff showing up correctly. Pricing, you can change this all independently as well. And I suggest you start off with a $5 basic package, whatever you think you could do for $5, and definitely here and here upsell it. We'll go over that in a minute and what I did specifically. My gig extras, anything that you put here, you can charge a different amount of money, whether it's your basic, standard, or your premium package it's going on. And you can also change the this is for additional words. You can add a word count. Other gigs kind of offer unique little things like this, but let's say all of the gigs have this extra fast delivery option. So for your basic $5 gig, you can deliver that in one day for an extra whatever you want, all the way up to about $200. So yeah, you can really do some. You can knock out a lot of sales putting an extra $5. You'll do a simple video in just one day. I mean, if you really want to kill yourself and get some sales and some good reviews, you can do that. I don't recommend it, but just starting out, sure, you may want to. Standard, same thing. You can put your I will deliver in whatever amount of days for whatever money. What else is there? Backgrounds. You get the idea, right? I'll show you what I did with my gigs in just a minute. And I think that's it. You can even add your own. Okay, so down here, let's see something for videos. Like I can add an animated little thing that shows up down here in the corner of my screen, and it gives them the option to put 2 lines of text. So I chose that for one of my gig extras. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this all filled out. I'll go over it one more time real quickly. All right, so here it is. So this is my video gig for doing a white background video, right? So for the basic $5 package that I'm offering, I think I chose, $5. It's speaker only, and they're going to get a 1080p quality video on a perfectly white background. Sony wireless HD audio 2, 30 seconds max. So that kind of tells them everything they need to know in a nutshell. And I put 2 days delivery because I really want to get some sales rather quickly to boost the account. I don't normally offer anything in just 2 days unless it comes with a hefty price tag, unless I'm doing this or just starting out on a platform. So that's why I have a 2-day delivery. I don't offer any revisions on anything because I try to get everything done right the first time around. If I make a mistake, I offer a free revision on any package, on anything. That's just what I do, and I think that every business should do that. If you make a mistake, you should fix it for free. But a lot of times, for example, if I'm doing video gigs, the client will often send a script, and then they change their mind later on after they send it on what they want to say, or maybe they want to add something. And believe it or not, they get quite upset when I complete the video perfectly to their specifications, and then they request a change and ask me to add things to what I said, which requires me to get back on camera and all that. Now, if I hit a number 1 here, they could do that, and I couldn't say anything about it. And it's really, really just annoying to do that, and I don't think many video people do. So a lot of us have zeros here, but if you're doing logo generation, making logos for people or doing graphics design, maybe you might want to put 1 or 2 or a few revisions here for different packages to change, when a client asks you for changing the color of something or moving some text over or something like that. It's a lot easier for you to do that than for somebody to get on camera and shave and get all cleaned up and fix your hair and dressed and all that stuff. So keep that in mind whether you want revisions or not, and why you should or should not offer them. Words included is specific to video gigs, and if you're into video gigs or doing that, words included is if they're going to send a script. It says here, set the maximum number of words that are included in the package, and you can set the price for additional words. So if somebody's going to send me a script, it's got to be 80 words, no more than that, or it's going to be more dollars. And they can count their own script themselves or whatever they have to do. There might even be a tool that there is a tool that they can put in their own script's word count, and then it calculates how much it costs. But they do have to find out how to calculate the word count themselves. And you can go to a website called wordcounter.net. But that's not important for right now. Just know that based on whatever gig you pick, whatever category you pick, that the gig goes in, you have different options here. And that's how this works for the video gigs. And you can see my third package, I offer up to 1 minute. So they can submit a 160-word script for this package here. And you can make that whatever you want. And as I mentioned earlier, all my gigs are full 1080p quality. I saved the script writing check mark for the standard gig here, which says speaker plus our script. And the description for this one is HD video and audio, kind of the same as before, plus our premium. Oops, got a typo in there. Definitely brings me to my next point. Typos. Make sure you fix all of them. Make sure you ask someone else, a good friend, a good family member, pay somebody to proofread your gigs and everything. If you have one typo in there, somebody with big money could just pass you up thinking you didn't take the time to fix it. So, I just have written in here 1080p audio video plus our premium script writing, 30-second max. And the full package one, here's where my gig is going to be very different, I think, than my competition, but it's worked well for me in the past, and I want to bring it back. So I put includes our script plus many add-ons shown in the gig's main description. Contact me for details. So right away they know that to pick this package, they're going to have to contact me. And the gig's main description is going to be coming up next. When we hit the next button, we'll see that section. So that's it. I chose a 10-day delivery on that because a lot of times these are heavy-duty commercials. Takes a little time to work out the details, and especially the script writing. And this one here, 5-day delivery, because I will be writing a script, and I want to give myself a few days time to get that done. And relatively easy videos don't take a lot of time, so once I take a few days on the script, I can whip out the video in a night or two. So 5 days is good. Make sure you pick a time you're comfortable with. Definitely pick a time you're comfortable with. If you pick something, if you do a 2-day delivery on everything, you're going to get swamped one day and you're going to have trouble. And the worst thing about Fiverr, if you get one bad review, it could really kill your account. It really can. So don't get them. Don't get bad reviews, and don't kiss butt. Don't let somebody bully you if they're trying to get something from you that you didn't offer in your first sale, and your first talk with them, or your first order with them. Like if they're not happy about something, or that they want it extra, and it's not something that you list on your gig as something that's included or something you would do for that price, don't give it to them for free. I guess we'll get into that a little bit later when we deal with the next video, which is going to be how to deal with clients. I'm going to show you how I ended up doing some of the sales. But let's stroll on down here to, let's see, did I go over the pricing yet? Make sure that you scale your pricing, of course, if you're doing 3 packages. $5 minimum package here, a $25 for my script writing package, and $60 for the main thing. I want this. This is definitely selling myself short later on. I'm going to be doing a whole overhaul on everything, but this is to get my initial sales, okay? And I want everybody to kind of take note that it's okay to do this for a little while to get your initial reviews and your glowing, awesome, amazing reviews. Sell yourself short a little bit. It's going to pay off in the long run. And, yeah, it might suck for a little while, but don't do it too long. My gig extras. Okay. This is kind of, additional words. This is for my video gig. I can charge, if somebody's picking, let's say, I have 80 words included with the basic package. If somebody wants more than 80 words for that gig, I don't really want to do that for the basic package. I want that to stay at $5 and only be a 30-second max. This one too. So for these two packages, the basic and standard here, I'm going to charge $20 for an additional only 25 words. I don't want you to buy this, or it's going to cost you a lot of money. And that's that. The premium one, I'll charge $5 more for an additional 25 words. That's more fair. I wish I could just pick 20, but it's making me pick 25. Oh well. Your gig might show you something different here for your gig extras, but Fiverr has been working to actually give you more options and more flexibility and make it look nicer for people. I'm not sure if this guy has anything I could really do. It doesn't look like it, but I don't have to get into that. It's basically just go down the list here, see if any of these gig extras go well with what you're offering, pick them, put a price on them, and don't kill yourself with it. Now, extra fast delivery is something every gig should utilize. You can see here I have 1-day delivery on my $5 package for an extra $10. So those easy videos I'll do in a day for an extra $10, total of 15. So it's 5 plus this 10. Okay. The standard package, it's a pretty easy video too. I can whip out a script, a 30-second script in a day, and get it out, and that'll be $50. Or better yet, I like to write the script in the first day, and then present it to them, give them 24 hours to do it. So what I'll do here is I'll just kind of half that. Okay, so premium, my full commercial package, if I'm gonna do this in 2 days, it's gonna cost me $75. I don't even know if that's really something I can do in 2 days, but I can if they contact me first and we work out what I'm supposed to do. Then I can put a 2-day time limit on. This is kind of a touchy situation here if you decide to do something like this and somebody orders. Even though for that I'm saying contact me for details, they'll still order this without contacting you, and they'll click on 2 days because they want whatever they want really quickly and they have money or whatever. And that's great, but it's not helpful for anybody. It's not helpful for you because then you have to hope that you can ask them the questions you might need to ask them to clarify what they need in the proper amount of time. And if they don't give you enough information, it's going to make it harder for you to do it in 2 days. So it's really, like let me see up here. I have a 10-day mark on this. I do need more than 2 days now that I'm thinking about it. I'm going to put 3 days right here. And instead of $75, I'm going to bump it down to $50. So that first day, I'm really going to iron it out. As soon as I see that order, we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to do that in 3 days. Okay? So background music. Yeah, I want that in my gig. I want it to be an option. Let's see if that guy has one down here. And he doesn't have any options to choose any extra things, but I know that the spokesperson people do. So let's go to him, and you can see where this shows up. You can add background music, for example. His is 10, mine's gonna be 15. But that's where it shows up. All these little things, all these little, and this is quantities here in case you didn't know that. If you charge for I don't know, adding X amount of logos. One logo is $10. You want 2 different logos, $20, So you can set what you want here in the pricing section, and it will automatically give the buyer an option to scale that up. Okay? So each logo that I want to put in somebody's video is going to be $5. All right? And that doesn't take an additional day, so I'm going to leave it at that. So that's how this works. You just kind of set up your gig. This is your storefront, okay? And this is how I set up my video gig specifically. And see this custom outfit? I can charge $10 for a custom outfit if I want, but here's a problem with this doing videos. I might also do a $10 for a suit and tie. If I leave this option at $10, somebody will pick this, and I'll be wearing a suit and tie for $10 when I normally charge about $40 to get me in a very hot suit and tie. So, do I even want to put this here? No, I don't want to put this here. I want to put this in my gig description main box, and I'll show you how I'm going to price out something like that later. Title. Okay, now these two are the ones that I added. It lets you add some. See down here? When you get to the bottom of, this is the blank one from earlier, you can add your own. Okay, so what I've added is the lower third's going up here. Lower third is the animated text thing that shows up down here on some of my videos with the logo in it and two text lines, so they can customize their text in it and add their little logo, and it looks nice. It makes it look really good for an extra $15 and no additional days because it's really easy to do. It's just a total upsell. And then also this one's a big upsell. Show your website. A lot of people like to see their website show up in a video with the presenter standing in front of their website. Well, I can do that too, and it looks incredible when I do videos like that. So I have a value set at $40 on that, and an additional 3 days because we should probably talk this out a little bit, and I could probably bump that down, but right now I'm gonna leave it at that. So I hope sorry if that was a bit long-winded, but especially if you're gonna do videos, this is incredible to follow for your videos. You'll know exactly how to set up video gigs. But if you're not doing videos, I gave you several insightful tips on where these things show up, where these little boxes show up, what they look like. Okay, see all these little boxes here. I explained all that. I explained where the gig descriptions show up. All that stuff is good to know when you're setting up your gig. You have to be in your buyer's shoes when you're looking at your storefront Okay, so after it's all set up, we're gonna see if it looks right, and we're gonna spell check it and everything else. But right now, let's go ahead and hit the save and continue button. Moving on. And here we are, the description and FAQ section. This is part 3 of the 6-part process. It says briefly describe your gig, and it asks you to describe what you're offering, be as detailed as possible so buyers will be able to understand if this meets their needs. And it should be at least 120 characters. Well, that's the easy part. I have a lot of trouble fitting it into 1,200 characters, but further down, frequently asked questions, here you can add answers to most commonly asked questions. Your FAQs will be displayed in your gig page. So let me show you where that ends up when somebody has an FAQ active on their gig. Let's just pick her. I'm sure she's got something. You go down here. It's right down here. My script is longer than 25 words. How do I add additional word count? If you click on the arrow, her answer shows up as, it's easy. Just type your word count in the space provided at the very bottom. And you know what? There it is. So something I was looking at earlier, let's say I have a 100-word script, or let's say 200-word script. It calculates the price based on what the price is for her gig there. So there you go. When you add an FAQ, a frequently asked question, you can ask yourself the question and answer it. Boom, click add, and it shows up. It shows up right down there. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and fill out this form really quickly. Voila, there we go. And this is what I've got in here for my description. I'm just going to go over it. Need a video commercial for your business on a white background? That's what this gig is for. So bam, right there. Simple enough. Need help ordering? Want to see samples of my previous work? Send me a message. So right away, I'm encouraging people, hey, if you have any trouble, or hey, if you obviously see that I'm new and I have no work, you want to see samples of my work? Probably so. So I'm going to ask them, send me a message for either one of those. Right away, I want to start talking to these people, okay? I'm going to write here, for the people who read the rest of it, all packages include, and 1080p HD video, Sony wireless HD audio, pure white background. And then I tell them what I'm going to be wearing. My attire is the black shirt. The format, which is the format of the video, is in .mp4. So if you're buying a video, this is all good stuff to know from your video presenter and video editor and post-production. And then I go on to say, our rough pricing guide is below. To simplify and speed up the process, we encourage you to share with us how much you hope to spend on your video. We will then recommend the best extras for your unique project. So I said your unique project here because I want them to feel like I'm giving their project attention, and I know that everyone's needs are different. So that's a comforting line there. And I have learned over the 6 years plus of Fiverr that I can do a lot of back and forth when it comes to asking people to contact me for stuff. I end up sending a lot of messages back and forth, and it always tends to be the same thing. Okay, what do you think you need? Here, take a look at my portfolio, and and I might get a little bit of this answer. I might have to work it out with this client more than the other, but it ends up being that I'm asking the same questions a lot of times, and they all kind of end at the same point as, how much do you really want to spend on your video? Okay. So I'm trying this out because it's worked kind of well in the past, and I don't want to spend that much time sending messages back and forth. So I said, to simplify and speed up the process, we encourage you to share with us how much you hope to spend on your video. And so hopefully people are going to send me a message and say, hey, I got $20 for a video. What can I get? Hey, I got $50 for a video. What can I get? And most of the time I'm not going to get that anyway. But if I ever ask them, which is going to happen fairly early on in our communication process, if I ever ask them, hey, how much do you think you want to spend on your project? It won't come as a surprise. So I've added this line to set them up with proper expectations, if that makes sense. Okay. And then add-ons and extras include. Now, this is another thing that I've tried in the past that worked really well. And I've also tried not doing this and leaving it a bit more vague. But this time I wanted to tell everybody, I wanted to give them sort of full price sheet, And it also gives them an idea of all the little things I can do for them. And it's really good to list this in your Fiverr account with one of your gigs, to at least experiment with it. Like, for example, if I'm going to be making several different types of commercials, okay? This is going to be a white background commercial. I'm going to have another one where I'm going to say it's a spokesperson commercial gig. They're basically the same thing. It's just a different background going on one of them. But I have to do it that way because a lot of people really are looking for that pure white background. So they'll specifically search for that. So I do have to split them up. But on one of my gigs, I can really list the price sheet, basically. And if I have any trouble remembering my prices, or if I want to tell another client that found a different gig of mine where I may have not listed my pricing, I can point them to this price sheet here. Or I can work out the price in a private message with them. And because I have some variables here for the on-screen text and things like this, of 40 to 80 or 5 to 20, I can work out any price that I really want. So let me continue. So I have $5 extras, $10 extras, $15 extras, and then things that I call premium extras for 20 or more. And I'm not really going to go into this too much detail. You can read this. If you're doing videos, some simple $5 extras could be to add their logo or add a picture or hold their product close to your high-quality camera device. Or a $10 extra could be if you have a green screen to change the background, and you can offer them several different options. It's super easy to find like a bajillion different backgrounds that work well with how you're able to key out your footage. But you can take a look at my gig later and then copy it to your heart's content if you're doing video stuff, because it's a good one to mimic. And I chose my higher costing extras down here at the bottom. And that's it. I also wrote, and this line may or may not stay here, consultations are available for projects of 100 or more. See, on Fiverr, if you're going to talk to people off of the Fiverr platform, for one, you have to send a message to Fiverr support and say, hey, I'd like to offer consultations for my gigs. How can I do that? And they'll have to approve a gig for you to do that with. And generally, it takes an order to be processed, and the buyer will give you their contact information, or as soon as money is passed between you and the buyer through an order, you're then able to give out your contact details or your Skype name or something like that, however you're going to communicate, phone number or whatever. So if you're going to offer a consultation, you may want to contact Fiverr before you even stick this on your gig at all, or they'll kick it back or cancel it on you, whatever the case is. So just be aware that I do plan on sending Fiverr a message to get this line of my text approved. And you can see that I'm working with maybe about 50 characters here left of my video description. Another thing I want to tell you about creating gigs, descriptions, and even in the pricing section, I ran into a problem. You might get the dreaded, you have too much text in this box error. The website doesn't properly count how much characters you put in here if you've done a lot of highlighting and erasing and undoing and all these different things. Really seems to confuse the counter here. So you may get to a point where you're like, I know I only have 1,000 out of 1,200 characters, and it's still telling me that I have too much text. So go back, see if you have any long, I'm about to try to do this, blank white spaces. See, I might have a bunch of this somewhere in between here and here. I might have one stuck right there and not even see it. So I might get to a point where I'm like, man, I can't continue because it's red and I don't know what's wrong. I don't have that much, and then you have to realize, you take that out and it goes back to normal. So if you're getting close to that mark, go look for anything. Drag your mouse up and down and see if there's any extra blue that you don't see. That'll really help you. Good thing to do. All right, so let's move on. I'm going to add so many of these frequently asked questions a little bit later on. I have nothing in there right now. Check back. Maybe I'll just do another video in between about what I've done to change up my gig and to communicate with some of the clients. So let's continue. Wait, you know what? It's not even close to done. I forgot about these things. So what I want to do now is highlight and bold, and maybe even I could bullet point some of this, but I know what I want to do. And I want to bold this right here at the top, And I also want to highlight this right here. Maybe highlight it like that too. Okay, need a video commercial for your business on a white background. All right, all packages include.
Right, and I'm gonna bold that. Just make it look better. Make it look better. I'm highlighting and bolding my most important things, and I'm bolding the things that are semi-important. That's kind of my little rule of thumb. If anybody is really just browsing quickly, I want them to know that, hey, here's a price list down here. This is what everything includes.
And that's what I consider my most important stuff. So that looks a whole lot better. What I can do is take my $5 extras or my $10 extras and highlight them. And I can click on either one of these. I can make them a bullet point. Looks really nice. Might just do that. Or what do they look like with a numbered system? Oh, boom. So that doesn't really work for what I want to do. So I'm going to hit Control Z on my keyboard, and that undid that right there. You can also maybe right click, and does it work like that? Yeah, undo and redo. So I just hit Control Z to undo it. You can Control Shift Z to redo it if you want, or just right click and do it from the menu. So it's good to know, especially if you made some mistakes in a big chunk and you're like, oh no, I deleted half of my gig. Just hit right click and undo it, or hit Control Z on your keyboard. So yeah, that looks good. Let me go ahead and bullet point all this that's listed there. Boom. How about it? How about it? And then I definitely want to talk to these people. I want to get some messages in my inbox, especially right away. So I also don't want to be talking about projects that I don't want to be going into lengthy hour-long discussions about a project that's worth anything under $100. You may want to lower this bar if you want, especially if you want to get your first sales and have glowing reviews. A lot of times, hey, look, if you focus on your client really good, you treat them really well, more often than not, if you really go out of your way to do it good, they're going to tip you and they're going to give you a glowing review. Also, in the same token, don't be surprised if you're bending over backwards and they don't even tip you, you don't get a thank you, and you don't even get a rating, good or bad. They just let the order that you send through get auto-completed within the 3-day timer. Because if you send, let's say I'm a seller, and I deliver an order, and the buyer gets the order, and maybe she doesn't even check it, or he doesn't even check it for 3 whole days. By the end of the 3rd day, a 72-hour period, it auto-completes, and I begin to get the funds. That's a 2-week process. And a lot of times, those clients won't ever leave a review, so it actually doesn't help you to not get a review. It kind of hurts you. So what I said all that for is, don't be surprised if you do really good and you don't get any sort of tip or good review. But it does help to do really good when you're just starting, so you can get really glowing reviews and maybe even some tips, because you're working towards raising your levels. Once you get level 1 and level 2, or especially level 2, you're just got a whole lot more credibility on the Fiverr platform. You got a ribbon next to your name and all that stuff. So anyway, let's move on. Save and continue on that. That's good for me. Now here it is, requirements. I've already got one sitting in there. Tell your buyers what you need to get started. Structure your buyer instructions as free text, a multiple choice question, or file upload. So, for example, if I am selling a video service, one of my requirements for at least the $5 package is that you send your own script. And it says that in the gig pricing section, or at least maybe I have to reiterate that, which now that I'm thinking about this a little more, I'm going to have to go put that line that $5 package requires your script. Now, while I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to do it. So here it is. Bam, $5 package requires you send your script, 80 words max. Want to make sure that gets put in there. And that's why I left 50 words. I knew I was going to need those 50 words. All right, so let's get back here to the requirements section. And I want to put requirement number 1. If you ordered the $5 package, please send your script now. And I can make it answer type attached file. I'm going to say, please send your script as a plain.txt file now. Okay. Answer type, attached file. Answer is mandatory. And I could make that mandatory and hit add. So this would require the buyer to send their script, or they cannot actually complete their order with me and the timer doesn't start. If I did not make this mandatory, they'll just see this message and they can continue anyway and actually not send the script and cause me a lot of problems. They can start the timer without their script, and then, you know, if it's a 3-day order or something like that, might use up the first day just asking them for the script, and it could be recording night for me. So this could throw a wrench into my process. So you got to take into consideration, do you need the answer to be mandatory or not? And, you know, this is something to really think about right here for this, because I don't want to bug the people that are ordering you know, I have a basic, standard, and premium package or whatever. There's 3 steps. Anybody ordering the second and third package, they don't have to send in a script. The second one is me writing the script. That's part of the package. It's built into the package. And the third one comes with script writing. So do I want to make this answer mandatory for this one? In my situation, you know, no. But I do want to tell them, if you order the $5 package, please send your script as plain text. So, you know, I do want to reiterate that like a lot. So they're going to see this. They're going to see this message. Also, I want to add another requirement, or really just another pop-up message for them. Please send any files related to your project. And then, you know, like their logo, pictures, videos, etc. And then I want to specify, you know, only if it's included. Don't just randomly send me stuff that you just want to suddenly add to your order. So I have to specify that. So let me think about what I'm going to type there. So yeah, please only include attachments that are included with the package you purchased or that were discussed beforehand. Thanks. So free text. I don't have to make it mandatory. I don't really want to put an attached file thing here. They know, you know, they should know. I could do this, and maybe it'll put the little attachment button a little bigger. I'm not sure how it shows up for them. I'm just going to leave it as free text, because it's the easiest form for the buyer to receive. Okay, and I say that because, again, you got to put yourself in the shoes of your buyer, and what you'll find out on the buyer end is when people buy from you, if you have one of these set for, you know, needing a mandatory answer from them, or you have that little, where is it? If you have this thing checked, it's you'll find that some of your clients just can't figure out what to do. They get to that, they hit the order button on your page, and then all of a sudden they're stuck with this requirements window with your message that you wrote here to them, and they kind of freeze up, deer in the headlights. Their instruction could be right there. Hey, please send your script as a plain text. And they're like, what? So be careful checking this box, because you may just get the client may just cancel the order. They might just not figure out how to get past that screen. And that's it. I mean, it's weird. It happens a lot. So I'd rather, you know, and this is kind of a double-edged sword. Canceling orders from people that do that to you, if you leave this, like I'm going to do, if I leave this unchecked and they order and they don't send their script for a $5 package, I'm still stuck in this boat of, well, what do I do with this guy's order now? I'm going to have to use up one of these days, if not 2 of these days, asking him for his script. And the timer is going to be running on that order. So this guy's, you know, really putting it to me. And there's nothing you can do about that. So what you're having to do is contact them to ask them to send the script or cancel the order, so your timer doesn't go late. And when your timer goes late, you're in a whole different world of potential problems. The buyer can cancel that order immediately as soon as the timer goes late, and you get a strike. It's completely unfair. Completely unfair, especially if this is how that happened. So This is another reason you may want to consider clicking that button, because the people that aren't smart enough to figure out what to do here won't be able to get past that point. You understand where I'm going? So you have to make that decision. I've got a system for taking care of this and nipping this in the bud, as we say. As soon as I get an order from somebody that doesn't have the requirements that I need, I'm gonna go ahead and cancel. I'm gonna send the cancellation request to that client. And if I don't hear from them within 24 hours, or I may actually do this also at the same exact time, is I'll send a ticket to Fiverr support and say, hey, this order, and I'll give them the order number. This person ordered, they didn't send me what they needed. Just in case they don't receive my message and it gets to being auto canceled on me, I have gone ahead and issued a ticket to you to watch this and monitor this and cancel it if they don't respond back. And sometimes that's the only way that you're going to get a cancellation that doesn't hurt you. It's really a weird thing on Fiverr to see your business fall significantly because of so many orders that were placed wrongly. So let's say you're doing really good. You have 5-star ratings. Your gigs are performing really well. You're getting a lot of messages, and they're getting so popular that you get several clients that end up ordering improperly. And they maybe you get 4 orders in one day where none of those 4 people ordering the $5 package sent you a script. And you're like, wow, what a weird day. And then, you end up, let's say you were successful in getting all 4 of those orders canceled from between you and the buyer through the proper means. It's actually really going to hurt your account to have 4 order cancellations happen. And there's no way to avoid that. There really is no way to avoid that besides maybe clicking this one button. But then again, you'll miss out money. You'll miss on money because you'll get people that have money that put a $40 order in there, and they don't know that to just simply get past this screen, they have to do this. Whereas they're just trying to type something in and they're not getting past it. So I hope that makes sense. This is something to really consider, is clicking this button or not. And I just gave you a very, very, very likely scenario on why you may want to and how bad order cancellations can be, especially to a growing account and to one that's very well established. My last account, I had over 500 orders. I was doing good, 5-star ratings. I mean, it was great. The one that I actually canceled to do this course, to show you that I'm hopefully going to rebuild it back up to where it was. I had just gotten way too many people doing this to me, ordering improperly, and I had to cancel on them. And I just noticed a drop in sales very slowly over the course of a year, slowly, but to the point where, okay, I know where the problem came from. So do what you may. That's my advice on that. I'm going to hit save and continue. And that's it. You can add as many of those requirements as you want, I believe. Whatever you have to get across. All right, and here we are at the final process, the gallery, and this is where you put your gig video and your gig photos. It says you can have up to 3 photos. I highly suggest you put 3 photos in here. I've created 2 for right now, and I'm going to add a 3rd one later on at some point. But once you have a video in the eyes of the buyer, it doesn't matter what your pictures look like unless you have something like some people do. Let's see if I can find it again on hers. So yeah, this is ultimately what I'm going to do eventually, is have a picture to display my different wardrobe options. So this is her main gig. Okay, the first little picture under here is her video. You can click on that to watch that video, right? And then these next 3 are her 3 pictures that she chose, or she chose 2. And she left the 3rd one blank. So the next thing in her lineup is the first review that was made by her most recent buyer one day ago. And all of these are basically the same thing, samples from her previous works. Okay, 16 hours ago she delivered this one and this one. So you can watch all the stuff she's turned in. Anyway, 2 photos at least. Put a 3rd one there eventually. It really helps, and make the photos meaningful. Like she's got her gig, her wardrobe options shown. You can, instead of just putting samples of your work, think of other ways kind of like that you can display some information through a picture. Okay. On mine, we'll see in a second. Well, let's see. I'll just do it right now. I have it in here, temporary gigs, and for this one, I put just white screen gig background 1 and gig background 2. So I put these 2 pictures. Many options, professional fonts and styles. So when they click that picture, they can see the 2 different font options and the lower third. And then this option here, I will pick this one. And that's pretty much it. Now let's put the video. Okay, now that the video is uploaded, it's pending moderation. What they're going to do is eventually approve it, and then I'll come back here and I will pick the ending frame. What I've gone and done with this video, let me just show you real quick. Hey, need a great video for your business? So there's the beginning, and look at the end. Right before it ends, it does this. .com. Bam. It switches to this ending screen. I basically just took a snapshot of myself out of one of the frames and moved myself over, and I made the words white background videos 1080p HD. And what I'm going to do is once this video gets approved, you can click the play button on it to watch it from here, and then there's a way to set your thumbnail of the video. So what I'll do is I'll come back here after it's approved, play the video, get to the end, and I'll basically pause it right here where I have it at the 59-second mark, and I'll lock that picture in as the thumbnail of my video through Fiverr's little editor right here. So that's what you can do, and it's really great because that's how people get, you know, some of these shots right here. Like this guy, he's got a video, but he's got this appearing. I mean, that's great. I bet you any money it's at the very end of his video.
Hi, everyone.
Let's take a look.
Hi, everyone. If you need
so look at the end.
anything else, go ahead and click the Order Now
Bam.
button.
There it is. So he just did the same thing. He stuck that right on the end of his video and came back in the editor. So that's a super pro tip. That's how you do it. You can do it with you know, Windows Movie Maker even. It's just a picture. You stick a picture right at the end of your video and leave about 2 seconds leeway. Come back in here after it's approved and set your thumbnail. And that will really, really help your video stand out among the rest. Everybody is doing that except for these people that are just doing testimonials. And she really doesn't care, but she doesn't have to. And if you want to stand out, do that. Looks great. So, well, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go back. I may have some more tips come up in a second, and I'll kind of input these right at the very end. But what I'm thinking of doing is live streaming the next gig. I'm not 100% sure, but when I put up my virtual assistant gig, I may do a live stream on that and take questions during that live stream. So I'll basically do this whole process again for that gig in real time, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a not so serious gig, but it has landed me money. The first time I put up that that gig that I'm going to put up, it landed me $300 in the first week. So it's not play money, but it's not going to be my best gig. I'm going to turn it all up once I hit level 2. I'm not even putting all my magic into this video that I made here. It doesn't even have a background song. It doesn't have a video intro. I packed a lot into a 1-minute clip there, but when I start selling my services for some real money, you're going to see a lot more stuff happen. And anyway, I hope this video gave you some valuable information to get started.
And that's it for this video. I want to thank you for watching the video, and I want to announce that I'll be doing some Fiverr live streaming to help people learn how to utilize Fiverr in real time. So I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you can catch my live shows. I'll probably be doing a live stream of myself setting up my next gig. So it will be a lot like this video, except it will be in real time, and I'll be available to answer questions from the chat live. So leave your comments where you can, and let me know what you thought about this video, or tell me what you would like to see in the next one. Join me as we grow a business together and break free from that slave job mentality right here on the Hoary Sheet Show. I'm here to wake people up. Who's with me?